Hello, today we visit r/AskReddit to ask what was ruined because too many people did it. Make sure to comment if I missed something that has been ruined down below. With that, sit back and enjoy. Craft fairs. Now they're crowded with dozens of MLMs. I just want to find knitted slippers made by an old lady who clearly has a drinking problem, not more Norwex. My cousin sells Mary Kay and always sets up a booth at craft fairs. She puts up signs saying, "Support your small business." Huh? Those people see themselves as successful independent entrepreneurs who pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps and are totally responsible for it all. They do, until it goes under, as did a certain kids' clothing one last week, and then it's all, us poor moms were fired with no notice. I'm sorry, I thought you were boss babes with your own business. How did you get fired? One of the small towns I've lived in has an annual street fair. Used to be great as you'd have local artists and crafters, local food trucks and kids' rides, and while it did bring in outside people for the day, it was predominantly local, so you'd wander around and stop often to chat. Local politician decided to set up a booth one year, the next year the opponent did the same thing, and now one whole street of the fair is just filled with local politicians handing out flyers and trying to get people to vote for them. Really dragged down the tone of the fair. Cooking shows. It used to be a few talented chefs who had shows to teach. Now it's every damn celebrity who can or cannot cook making the same recipes as everyone else. I miss the Food Network back in the day with good eats. Last night I watched Season 1 Episode 1 of this for the first time. What a different and informative tone compared to present-day shows. The summit of Mount Everest is like a trash heap now. You forgot to mention the fact that it's basically a mass grave now too. Fun stuff indeed. Honestly, if I was on a hiking trail and I kept seeing unburied corpses, it would kind of kill the fun. Unburied corpses? You mean colorful nylon road markers? Take a left at green boots. Yeah, if the activity we're doing involves using corpses as landmarks, count me out. Don't care if it's mountain climbing or bicycling. Don't know if this is the actual direction, but yes, there was or is a corpse up there referred to as green boots that, if I recall correctly, people used as a landmark. Airbnb. Used to love Airbnb years ago. Now it's pricier than a lot of decent hotels, and some of the house rules are nutty. My friend gave me a discount coupon for one. I compared it to a local hotel and the hotel was cheaper with less rules. My hotel doesn't expect me to leave the room in pristine shape. I leave the towels in the tub and pick up all garbage, but I'm not expected to vacuum and dust. For real. I stayed at an Airbnb once on a ski trip and it was clearly the people's family home, so not like a random rental. We cleaned all the sheets, pillowcases, and towels, wiped down countertops, ran the dishwasher, swept. Then we got a message from them because they were upset we put a wooden spoon in the dishwasher. I guess in the 40-page manual they left it said not to. They couldn't believe we hadn't read the entire thing cover to cover, and on top of that, there are always crazy cleaning fees. Like, why am I paying a $150 cleaning fee on top of cleaning your house? The high cleaning fee is just a way to lower the price in searches, doesn't work anymore though. Lower rental price, higher cleaning fee. Like charging really high shipping on eBay. Airbnb is so big it's killing the town I live in. I live in a tourist town up on top of a mountain, and up until the Airbnbs got big, hotels and a handful of dedicated rental cabins were enough to accommodate for the tourists we get. Now half the houses in town are exclusively vacation rentals, people are being evicted to make room for more every day, and there's nobody left to work at any of our businesses, and the price of literally everything has risen far above the price it would be in any other town. You used to be one of only a few people around bidding on storage lockers. It used to be a fun hobby I gave up on because it became too popular and people are grossly overpaying for the lockers, which is oftentimes just paying to make a dump run for someone. My mom put all my stuff in a storage locker when I went abroad and then lost it for not paying for 8 months, and lying about it. I lost everything I owned since childhood except for 2 suitcases of clothes I had brought with me to study abroad. All my photos, journals I had kept religiously since I was 5 years old, mementos, stories, poems and paintings. Thousands of dollars of rare books. Stuff I hope to digitize and or give to my kids someday. I tried to find out what happened to my stuff after I found out what happened, but whoever bought the unit threw everything away. Now when I see ads for those shows I just feel sick to my stomach. Give it a couple of years. The people doing that will run out of money eventually. In the meantime, you could go and not bid, then offer reasonable sums on anything that catches your eye to the people who have just bid too much. They'll be looking to quickly capitalize on the money they've just burned, are still riding high on the endorphins from winning on a big purchase, and you're at ground zero for a quick appraisal and access to choice items. Might not work, but it'd certainly give you back some of the fun without all of that risk, plus you might get to stick it to the people who keep you from your hobby. Thrift shopping. Yup. 15 years ago the prices were so cheap and you could always find a gem. Now they're always crowded and everything is overpriced, and you might find something good once every 2 to 3 visits if you're lucky. I blame the online sellers. Our local thrift stores have people who go in when they open and drop a few $100s on stuff and resell it on the Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, eBay, etc. It's not just thrift stores either. They do it at all the local discount stores. Retail arbitrage is the new entrepreneur. Streaming services. I miss the days of one single service, Netflix. Now every studio has its own service and holds their stuff away from services like Netflix and Hulu. Direct consequence, too many subscriptions. At this point it's more economical to buy stuff you want to watch. This is why people resort to pirating. It's come full circle. Debating on whether or not to hit the high seas currently. Too many options. We're back to the old shitty cable model. Worse, because now you have to pay a subscription per channel basically. In my dorm room, there was a vending machine that, with just the perfect push of the button, would dispense 2 Sprites. For a few of us, it lasted around 6 months. Then they fixed the machine after one loose lip led to another. Open lips snatch sips. Oh yeah. We had 5-cent peanut M&Ms in our vending machine at work until someone blabbed. My company has discount vending with most items at 25 cents but a few $1 items including those microwavable mac and cheese cups. Well, for about 2 months it was miscoded at 25 cents for one of the 2 mac and cheese options, so I would buy 3 at a time. I wasn't the only one that noticed since the second mac and cheese slot was never used, but I didn't say shit. Driving to work early. I used to do it, but now it's the same as morning rush hour. Just go earlier and skip sleep. Just keep a pillow on your desk. Driving in general, honestly. I love to drive when it's just me on the road, but it's getting to the point now that I hate driving in general because it seems like no matter where I go or what I do, there's always someone on the road who's trying to kill me. Constantly having to watch for and anticipate the dangerous actions of 50+ idiots all clustered around me is my least favorite part of the day. Honestly, I would guess that the daily commute is probably the most dangerous thing most people do in their day-to-day lives. Festivals. I used to enjoy going to some local festivals. Now they're just overcrowded and expensive. I can only afford festivals I play at now. But I live in rural Pennsylvania and the area and the well-seasoned Festvy kids are throwing dirt fests on their property with local talent, and those have been so much more fun and it really brings in the music and art community. Havasu Falls in Arizona. Went back in the early 2000s and it was nice and little to no trash. Now all these duckheads have trashed the park and overcrowded it for a effing Instagram post, making wait times ungodly long. I hold great anger towards people that litter in cities, but I get enraged at dipshits that litter in parks. Like, what the duck is wrong with you people? Clean up your shit. And for those who actually care, please bring a waste bag and we can start cleaning up after these ducksticks. Havasu is ruined. I am not sure what will happen when they reopen in the end of May 2023. If I remember correctly, the 3-night camp permit costs $750 per person. Therefore, it's not just assholes, but rich assholes who ruined it. Adblock. Now every website has a warning. It used to be a rare sight. Fun fact, you can block adblock warnings. Technically, they're ads. There's so many things and places most people didn't know about prior to Instagram and influencers visiting and taking photos there. Think, Manhattanhenge in New York City used to be a cool phenomenon only cared about or noticed by some, but now everyone and their mother comes out lining and blocking the streets for something that was once a "Hey, look at that, that's interesting" kind of thing. Now it's just kind of goofy. I thought Manhattanhenge was cool the first time I saw a photo. Then I saw 500 more of the exact same photo. Really takes away from it being a neat phenomenon. Especially now, where everyone's photos have 50 other people in front of them also holding up their phones. College almost guaranteeing a good job and career. It is not the ticket it used to be. Oversaturated. Nowadays a bachelor's degree is like a high school diploma. Except you pay $50,000 for it. A once pristine mountain lake that was peaceful and excellent for fishing and swimming was ruined by development. As I've previously commented, the pine trees surrounding the lake have been cut down and houses built everywhere. Discharge from motorboats and runoff from development have polluted the once pure water. The fish are gone and the air stinks of pollution instead of being lightly scented by surrounding pine trees. Somewhere, the Lorax is very pissed. The house flipping trend has certainly not helped home affordability. It's good to make a junk house habitable again. It's not good to turn a $220,000 house into a $350,000 house. Also, there are so many home flips that are basically lipstick on a pig. Yes, those new granite countertops are nice, but the plumbing is still 70 years old and needs to be replaced, and now I need to rip out those countertops to get to it. Or they use cheap grade materials that don't last very long. I wish people would buy homes and fix them up to live in them, instead of trying to turn a profit so they can buy someone else's place who did the same thing. Flying drones. Thanks to all the idiots doing dumb shit with them, it's not even worth getting into the hobby. Nowadays you pretty much can't fly anywhere worth flying, need all sorts of permits, are constantly risking hefty fines or even being investigated for terrorism. No thanks. My dad flies RC airplanes and hates drone people lol. They don't follow any rules at all, and since drones are pretty much idiot-proof, pretty much anyone can get into the hobby. He's just worried that his hobby is going to require more rules and regulations, or perhaps even be banned due to too many stupid people doing stupid things, flying near airports, etc. Writing children's books. Used to be an art form, then every celebrity has written one. More like, every celebrity has paid a ghostwriter to write one for them. Drinking and doing drugs at work. Too many people did it and now we have HR departments. They just had to ruin it for us functioning addicts. I work in the tech industry and it's interesting to see the evolution over the last 20 years. When I graduated I went to a startup where people partied with coworkers like crazy. We had tons of alcohol in the office and had big parties every few months in the office where people would get trashed, hook up with coworkers, you name it. Our HR director once paid for a keg for a party because she didn't like the beer we had picked up. Another time I ended up making out with our assistant HR director at a party. Now I'm in my 40s and I've seen a lot of that stuff really taper off. I'm not at a startup and I'm sure there's places where party culture exists, but most of the younger engineers have zero interest in these types of shenanigans. Even the older people I work with, myself included, have little interest in going out together. Maybe we'll grab a beer after work occasionally, but this idea of hardcore partying with coworkers is so foreign to all of us now. We even had a holiday party a couple weeks ago with an open bar and ended up coming in way under budget because few people wanted drinks. I'm not really complaining because I did some stupid shit back then that would have much more serious consequences today. But it's definitely changed a lot. With that, thank you for watching all the way until the end and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if I missed anything that has been ruined down below. Click the video above if you want to continue to watch my content. Until next time.